Hey guys, welcome to the video. My name is Simeon Krastev and today is day 2 of the body transformation challenge we're taking with my girlfriend Katrin, and it's been a fantastic day. We did the workouts, we did the nutrition, and instead of just showing you random footage of everything throughout the day, I decided to take a step and show you a breakdown of everything of what you need to do in order to lose fat, gain muscle, gain weight, whatever is your goal. There's three things that you need to do, and it's a framework that I've acquired through Alex Hormozi, and I've been in the fitness industry for over 10 years and I haven't seen it condensed in such a short amount of time and presented in such a visual way, so I decided to share it with you so you can follow along the journey with us and not only kind of take a look at our meals and workouts and whatnot. We're going to be sharing all of that anyway over the next couple of videos, as we're only on day 2 out of 30, so hopefully you're going to join us. But a lot of the people complicate the idea of getting in shape, as the fitness industry is huge, the beauty industry, the supplement industry, like all of these industries are trying to convey a message to overcomplicate things. So that's what I want to do today, to simplify things for you and make sure that you have the right information, or at least you acquire a knowledge to put every bit of information you get through the perception of what I'm gonna lay out as facts today. So first, we always start with the fact that everybody has a different body type and there's no one fit for everyone, right? We have different lifestyle, different body goals, different shapes, forms, age, metabolism, muscle mass. So we gotta define where we're at. So as you can see here, we have a very basic scale. And you can see here on the left, we have low muscle, and then we have high muscle, then we have low fat and high fat. And based on where you're at in the scale, it's gonna define what are the actions you gotta take. So for me, for example, usually in the past, I would consider myself lean, but now I'm leaning towards skinny fat, and I'll put some videos on the screen here, guys, so you can see kind of what is my starting point and where I'm at right now, so you can see the transformation, the progress over the next 30 days and get inspired to that. So I'm here at skinny fat. Maybe you're at soft, maybe you're out of shape, maybe you're big, maybe you're toned. Whatever is your goal, you got to define also where you want to go. So for me, I'm skinny fat right now, and where I want to go is lean or maybe toned. So it would be either one of the two. So what would be the difference between those two? As you can see, one is leaning down here and one is going down here. So what I'm going to be doing next to make sure I have my goals aligned is I will draw a line, okay? First lean or tone. Okay, so let's see what this line does. What this line does, it essentially gives us everything we need to know for where we're gonna wanna go. So as you can see, I was down here, I was skinny fat, and one of the lines was going here, and then the other one was going here. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? So as you can see, both of them are kind of on the same level when it comes to food. So what I have to do is decrease my calories, and we're gonna discuss on how you can calculate your calories, so stay until the end of the video. So I first have to decrease the calories, so that's given, so my calories gotta go down. But the difference between me being lean and me going to shred it and adding some muscle tone is gonna be the increased volume of workouts. So if I wanna go here, I just gotta increase the training volume, okay? Needs to go up. So whatever is your goal, you just draw the line and see whether you gotta increase the calories, decrease the volume. Maybe you're big and you wanna get slimmer, so you gotta decrease the volume and add more cardio. So this is how you define what would be the right plan for you. It's a very simple step. You just do that and you already know where you have to go. Now there's a huge debate on what kind of food should you be eating. Should you do keto? Should you do low fat? Should you do portion control? Should you do intermittent fasting? And I just want to debunk the myth, as I've been in the industry for over 10 years now, and I've tried all of them. And I've seen people get really obsessive over one or the other. And especially as you get together in a group, when people say intermittent fasting works for me, nothing else does work for me. But at the end of the day, actually all of the diets work exactly the same. And I want to prove my point here This is again graphic by Alex Hormozy that he drew, but I just love the simplicity of it as it really visualizes what people consider something that is, groundbreaking information. So in keto, what we have here is fats, carbohydrates, and protein, right? And when we start keto, what we do is we remove the carbohydrates. So what happens is when you remove the carbohydrates, you actually eliminate some of the calories you're consuming, okay? So you're decreasing calories. Now, let's say you're doing low-fat diet. What happens then is you have the fats, you have the carbs, you have the protein, then you remove the fats, okay? So you just eliminate the calories again, okay? So you're reducing your calorie intake. So let's say you do portion control. You're doing one of the zone diets where you eat on a smaller plate and you kind of balance things out. Same thing happens. You have fats, protein, and carbs, and then you're reducing the total amount of calories you're consuming. Therefore, you're losing weight, okay? And the intermittent fasting, which is my favorite because people say, oh, it helps you burn more fat and it's amazing, and that's why people experience the weight loss. It's exactly the same as the other three, but just in different form, okay? We have first meal of the day, second meal of the day, third meal of the day. What we do is we just remove one of them, and of course, with that, you just reduce the calories, okay? And this is pretty much it. This is how dieting works. This is how nutrition works. If you want to gain, you gotta increase the amount you're consuming. If you want to lose, you gotta reduce the amount you're consuming. It's as simple as that, all right? So when we go to the next step, we have why certain diets didn't work for me in the past. And I'm sure if you're behind the screen and you're watching this and maybe you joined me for the transformation journey, maybe you saw the results in the end and now you're coming back here and watching the videos. If that's the case, thank you for the support. But if you failed in the past, and it happened to me as well, especially when I was starting in the early days, because I didn't quite understand the calories and the macros and how it all works. But let's say as an example, let's take keto, okay? This is actually low-fat diet, okay? So this is low-fat. So the right way would be, we have the carbohydrates, we have the proteins, we have the fats, and then what we do is we remove the fats and we keep on eating the carbohydrates and we eat the protein, and everything is great, right? We reduce the calories, so now we're losing weight and we're dropping the fat and we're feeling great, okay? What is the wrong way though, and that's what most people do, and especially, as I said, me in the early days, I've experienced that a ton. You have carbohydrates, fats, protein. You remove the fats, but instead of eating the same quantity of food, now you start adding a lot more foods. Instead of just sticking to the same amount of food, now you start eating extra rice, extra potatoes, extra whatever. You just add so many carbs to your diet that the calorie intake increases and therefore you're unable to lose the weight. Same happens with the keto, same happens with intermittent fasting. If you're increasing the total amount of food you're consuming, regardless of whether it's gonna be 1 meal, 2 meals, 5 meals, 10 meals, it's gonna result in weight gain, guys, okay? So there's no one particular food that's gonna lead to you guys gaining weight or one that's gonna lead to you losing weight. So we're just gonna discuss how you can eat pizza, burgers, anything you crave and you want, if you want, of course, and still be losing weight, okay? So let's go to the next step and really define what are the 3 things that 99% of the people need to know in order to get the body transformation they're looking for, okay? So first, it's gonna be the calories. We gotta know how many calories we need to consume, and I'm just gonna share in a second. Then we gotta define what is our protein goal, how much we gotta consume, and why protein is important, because our hair, nails, skin, tissue, everything is built upon protein, and it's the ingredient that we need the most of, especially if we're dropping weight. We gotta preserve the muscles we've been working so hard for, okay? And then it's the training volume. How much do we need to work out based on our goal? Do we need to increase the cardio, or do we need to increase the amount of strength training, okay? So let's just look at a plan here for the calories, okay? I'm using here as basic example, a body weight of 200. And then we have a scale here. Again, as you can see, it's from 6 to 21. And based on the amount we multiply these 200, it's gonna give us the rate of either weight gain or the rate of weight loss. So let's say we multiply by 21. Okay, we're gonna end up being on top of the scale, and this is gonna lead to weight gain. So the way we calculate our calories, you just multiply that number by the body weight in pounds. Now, you can argue because there are hundreds of formulas out there and I've used them all in the past, but to be honest, the difference is so negligible that unless you're going to be a professional competitor and you got to know everything to the T and you're looking for professional prep, you don't need that. If you're an average person that just wants to have a good looking physique and maintain a healthy level of body fat percentage and just enjoy life overall, this will give you a clear guidance that if you stick to, will take you to the desired goal. And the best thing about this scale is that you can modify it over time, so nothing is set in stone, okay? So let's say you're 200 pounds and you wanna maintain. You could maintain on anywhere between 2,600 to 3,000 calories a day, because you take these 200 multiply by 13, that gives you 2,600, okay? If you wanna gain weight, that would be 200 multiplied by 16, and we're starting at 3,200, okay? And in an example where I'd want to lose weight, I would just go, for example, the highest on the weight loss scale. So that would be 200 by 12, and that would be 2,400 calories a day. Okay, that's where I would start. And I would gradually decrease over time, and I would stretch the horizon. So let's say I'll do 90-day time period where I would be dropping the calories. I'll start 2,400, like the second month I'll see how I'm progressing. And as soon as I hit the plateau and I stop losing weight, what I'll do is I'll drop another 200 and maybe increase the cardio slightly, okay? If I start plateauing again, I will drop another 200 and I would add a little bit of more activity all throughout the day. So this is how I would keep on losing weight over time. My suggestion to you guys, and this is from personal experience, don't start at the bottom end, because I remember back when I was 19 years old, at my first ever physique competition, I had no coach, had no knowledge. Pretty much I was self-taught all through the internet, and I was following like bodybuilder diets, and I was doing killer workouts, but I wasn't feeding my body. So I ended up going into a 90-day cut where I literally went all the way from like 4,000 calories a day while I was bulking down to like 1,800 calories, and towards the very end I really messed up my metabolism. I really had problems with nausea. I felt dizzy and I didn't have energy at all. So my suggestion to you is take a long-term approach to either gaining or losing weight, and just start at the high end so you can see how your body reacts to it, okay? So just pick a number, start there, and you can decrease, increase over time, so you can go faster or slower depending on what you want. And there's no end, so you don't have to rush. That's the most important thing. Have the long-term vision for your body, for your health, and just don't cut corners, okay? Now the second step is the protein. So let's take the example where I'm 200 pounds and I would multiply my weight by 1 gram of protein. This is the minimum amount I need to consume every single day. And my total daily protein intake would be 200 grams a day, okay? And what is 100 grams of protein? It's just about 1 pound of any lean meat, and it's 100 grams. And it's not just that the lean meat has the protein, every type of meat has protein, and it's not just meat, of course, dairy, eggs, whatever you can think of that is a protein source, you can get that protein amount in your body. But meat is probably like the easiest, even though my girlfriend is a vegetarian, as you saw in the previous video. So there's a diversity in our menu as well, but I'm just using it as the sake of this example. So 1 pound of any lean meat would be 100 grams. And I'm using lean because if the meat has some juiciness to it, also add some fat and like other ingredients that we don't really want to add up to our calories. So if I have to consume 200 grams of protein, that would be 2 pounds of lean meat every single day. And we can divide that however we want, whenever we want. So a lot of people confuse, oh, should I be eating it in the morning, late at night, after workout? I like to do 4 or 5 meals a day, and I use Herbalife Nutrition to take 2 out of those meals. 1 a snack, 1 in the morning as a shake, because it's easy for me, saves me time. And then for the rest of my meals, I like to keep consistency and just eat the same thing over and over and over again until I get bored, because it's simple and easy for me and I don't have to think about it. And if you have a routine where you don't have to think about something, it just happens. If you start adding variety, it adds complexity, and for me personally, that doesn't work very well. Okay, now what happens then? We have roughly 1,000 calories worth of protein in our diet we need to consume on a daily basis. Why it's 5 instead of 4? Somebody's gonna say that in the comments. because meat actually, even the leanest one, has some extra calories for fat, okay? So that's why we rounded up to 5 calories. And just to put it all together, how we would go about losing weight or gaining weight or whatever is your goal, we would calculate the calorie goal. So if I'm 200 pounds, I multiply that by 11, and that would give me 2200 calories a day, which would be moderate weight loss. Then I'll calculate my daily protein, 200 pounds by 200 grams. That would be 2 pounds of meat a day, or protein, eggs, cottage cheese, whatever you guys decide to use as a protein source. And we're going to be sharing over the next 30 days many ideas of what you can implement both for vegetarians and meat eaters and pescatarians as well. If you're 150 pounds, that would be 1600 calories, 1650 actually. And then if you calculate the calories from protein, we have 1000 versus 750 for the 150 person. And then we subtract the protein from the total. So if I'm consuming 2200 calories a day minus the 1000, it leaves me with 1200 calories that I can enjoy pretty much having any types of food I want. And if I want to have a chocolate bar, that would be 2 chocolate bars worth 200 grams. Obviously, I like to take smarter choices. I like to eat nutrient-dense food, meaning lower in calorie and higher in volume and density, because it's just good for my mental, you know, the way I envision it. And overall, I like to eat through my eyes as well. So I like to have a lot of things on my plate that are lower calorie. But if you, on the other end, just enjoy eating pizzas, burgers, you can totally do that and still lose weight. And that's why I like to also add Herbalife Nutrition to my meals, because I reduce the total daily calorie intake and I get some extra fiber, extra vitamins, extra minerals. So this is, guys, the plan I'm going to be following. And you can for sure pause the video, rewatch again, do the calculations for yourself. So over the next 30 days, you can join us and just follow along the journey and progress towards your goal, regardless of whether it's losing, gaining. What I'm after is actually a visible body transformation. I want to take that flap that I have around my waist now and just cut the lean, chiseled physique. And actually, Katrin wants to add a little bit of bulk to her body, some strength. So we both have different goals, but we follow the same principles. When it comes to the workouts, again, depending on whether you want to gain muscle or lose a little bit of it, you can increase the volume, meaning increasing the repetitions of the workout. So instead of doing 10 repetitions, you would be doing 12, okay? Instead of lifting 50 kilos, you would be lifting 60. So this is the way you can increase volume, either to adding more weight, more repetitions, lower rest, more frequency. So for me personally, I would add more frequency just because I know my routine and I can devote 30 to 45 minutes a day for workout. This is how I feel energized and refreshed. At my current state of well-being, if I add an hour, hour and a half workout, I wouldn't feel great. So I don't want to do that. So I'll focus on doing shorter workouts, but doing it every day. So I have the consistency and habit building off of that. And then over time, as my body adjusts, I can then increase the volume either through adding more time in the workouts, increasing the repetitions, or just adding more weight in the sets in the gym. Hope that video was helpful, guys. Again, I want you guys all to win. And if you ever decide to stock yourself up with some protein and other supplements on your journey, make sure you hit that link in the bio. Helps us and helps us keep creating content like that can help you win. All right, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.